All right, so the first of my skid plates came in, just unboxed them. This is the RCI gas tank skid plate for the GX460. It also fits some 4Runners. The way they make that work is, this part is the same on all those trucks. Let me zoom out. But they give you some different brackets. So this bracket, I think, goes right here. That ties up to the frame. See, that's nicely trussed, very beefy. All 3/16 steel. This goes here up to the frame. These three bolt directly to the frame, so that's where most of your strength from twisting the skid plate comes from. And then up here they give you these two. So one of these is for the 470 or the 4Runner, and the other one's for the 460, something like that. And then these all bolt on with these lag bolts, you know, that drop in there so they don't spin. Pretty simple. I was between this skid plate and the other one that I really liked was the C4. I think the C4 might have a little better protection over here. It's boxed in a little bit instead of just being flat like that. But the C4 was going to take a lot longer to get here. It didn't come powder coated and it was more expensive. So this was definitely a better deal to go with the RCI. I don't really like the RCI front skid plates and transfer case skid plates for this truck. They waste a lot of ground clearance. I ended up with going with CBI for that. And then I got the C4 rear differential protector. So I've got 3 different name brands of skid plates to get a system that I really like, which I do find kind of annoying. All right, so a little before and after. There's the before skid plate. You can see that it stops right there, which is pretty pathetic. So hopefully we'll improve on that thin, chintzy, incomplete protection with this bad Larry. Alrighty, so there's the factory skid plate. There's the RCI. Obviously, this is much longer, protects the whole bottom of the gas tank, but this objectively does a better job protecting this front corner of the gas tank. You can see how high it goes up there. This only goes to here, and it's totally flat here, whereas over here we got all this stuff. Yeah, this is really thin steel. Probably wasn't offering all that much protection, but usually you want to, you know, add underbody protection. You want to keep all of it and then some, and you don't want to lose some. So it's kind of frustrating. So the factory skid plate with a little bit of sand weighs in at, that doesn't seem right, 8.9 pounds. Is it really that light? Yeah, it is. So 8.9 pounds. This sucker's 60 pounds. So they say 60 pounds. It's weighing in right at 50, but you got to add a few brackets and stuff, so they're pretty accurate. All right, so another fail for RCI. This is how that bend looks from their bracket. Here's how it looks on Toyota's bracket. Pretty different. This is way too wide to fit flat against the frame, so you would end up with having to put a spacer there, or you have to have a big gap, which is unsat, obviously. There's no spacer supplied, and I'd rather not use a spacer for strength, so I had to take the grinder to this nice powder-coated bracket and make it look like the factory one. Fail number 2, guys. Come on, used to be better than this. I wonder if it fits the 4Runner this poorly. No idea. All right, so here's the after. Definitely looks a lot better from the side. Again, I am not happy with the protection right here. That big piece of plastic's very exposed, and this is gonna catch on shit all the time. And when that catches on shit, it's gonna bend the whole skid plate and stress these bolts right here. So most of the strength from the skid plate comes from where it's directly to the frame, here, here, and here. These brackets can't really do all that much, right? I really wish they'd have bent this up some. There wasn't quite enough material for me to be worth bending it myself, messing up the powder coat, because it doesn't stick forward very far. But whatever, it is what it is. We'll see if it causes problems, and when it does, we'll roast RCI. I'm glad I didn't go with their other skid plates based off of how this fit. I had to modify this bracket. Let me get farther underneath here for you. I had to modify this bracket pretty significantly up top. As you can see, it's painted with gold spray paint. And I also had to modify the bottom. As you can see, it's painted with gold spray paint. It was a little too long, and I had a really big gap underneath my gas tank. So this corner that's going to catch on stuff was hanging down even farther than it already should. There's that back bracket. It's got like a big thrust thing on